All right, we live again, y'all. We back. Greetings and welcome back once again. This is Amuni Israel Solonomics. We having a quick little discussion before we go sleep. You understand? Nighttime and thing. For everybody have a blessed day. Um, yeah, so this article came out. I saw the article and I passed it by, but then I seen it reproduced in more than one of these notable publications. So we're gonna do a little, just a little I spy research and development. First of all, this is nothing new. But let's see the spin that the article takes, okay? I'm just going to go right on into it. This is a live news session here. So let me share my screen. Let me share my screen. Oop. All right. So in Forbes, which is a notable publication, right? A new study that came out yesterday says hair dyes and chemical straighteners may cause breast cancer. Remember, every day we're trying to find a cure for cancer and this, that, and the third. So Forbes comes out and says a new study says hair dyes and chemical straighteners may cause breast cancer. I'm going to leave my commentary for later. And this is cancer research scientist and childhood cancer survivor Victoria Forrester. She's the one who's contributed this. And people, see, people.com, permanent hair dye and straighteners can increase risk of breast cancer in women, study says. So one title says, a new study says hair dyes and chemical straighteners may cause breast cancer. People says permanent hair dye and straightener can increase risk of breast cancer in women, study says, right? And then the subtitle, research found that permanent hair dyeing posed an even more significant risk of breast cancer among African American women. NPR, which I usually, I usually follow up with NPR. NPR just jumps out there and says hair dyes and straighteners linked to higher cancer risk, especially for Black women. So in one article, it says new study says that hair dyes may cause breast cancer. By the time you get to NPR, especially for Black women. So we're going to read this Forbes one first. Let's see here. This one comes on at 5:59. I don't know how many other people look at the time that something comes out. How many views? 30,500 views. So it's all over. It came out at 3:37 yesterday. This one came out 3:33 yesterday. So actually the People one drops first. Then the Forbes one drops, and then 2 hours. This is why it's really stressful in news environments because they're trying to get their story out first, so they're going to try to cover stories. So let's see what People says first, okay? I'm not going to read all of them, but we're going to see what People says. Hello, can we get this thing going here? All right. People says, new research featuring over 46,000 women in the U.S. has revealed potentially worrying links between the use of certain hair products and the risk of developing breast cancer. The study published yesterday in the International Journal of Cancer suggests that women who use products such as permanent hair dyes and chemical straighteners could be increasing their risk of breast cancer by up to 60%. Researchers have been studying the possible link between hair dye and cancer for a long time, but results have been inconsistent. We've known this for a while now. So it's interesting how they throw in results has been inconsistent with the same researchers, but when other people say it, they're conspiracy theorists, but now they're saying it and it's so, but we'll continue. I had to just get that in there. Said Alexander White, PhD, head of the National Institute of Environmental Health Science Environment. That's a long title right there. And oh, look, it's a long title. I'm not even done. The head of the National Institute of Environmental Health Sciences, Environment, and Cancer Epidemiology Group, and senior author of the study. That's long, that's a mouthful. As well as warning of an overall increase in risk of breast cancer for women who use their hair products, The paper reports huge differences in the risk posed by various products to Black women and white women. For white women dyeing their hair regularly, the risk of developing breast cancer seemed to increase 7%. But for so called Black women, this was far higher at 45%. For heavy usage of hair dye, defined as at least once every 5 to 8 weeks, the increased risk was 8% for European or white women and 60% for Black women. In our study, we see a higher breast cancer risk associated with hair dye use, and the effect is stronger in the African American women, particularly those who are frequent users, said White. The incidence of breast cancer in Black women is slightly lower than in white women, but Black women are likely to be diagnosed at a later stage of the disease than white women, and are far less likely to survive their cancer. The new study is correlative and does not describe a direct cause and effect relationship between hair products and breast cancer risk. But considering some of the components of these products have been described to be potential carcinogens or chemicals that can interfere with hormones such as estrogen, there is a reason to believe the conclusion of the study. And you can go on to read how initially the study starts off. The study starts off with the study starts off with the study starts off with overall, and it goes into what's going on with the melanated woman especially, and her higher risks of developing breast cancer from chemicals being put on the scalp. Let's jump down here. When they enrolled in the study, 55% of women reported using permanent hair dyes in a year prior to enrolling. During the study, 2,794 women developed breast cancer, with the research finding that permanent but not semi permanent or temporary dyes increase the risk of developing breast cancer. And you could continue to read. I put the links in the box here for this article. So this article in Forbes was like overall, but then by the time it gets to the NPR is like, forget that. We just gonna change this here angle here and just hone in on the fact that new research raises concern about the safety of permanent hair dye and chemical hair straighteners, especially among African American women. The study was published Wednesday in the International Journal of Cancer. And usually if you click here and you open in the window, oh no, not that. I meant new tab, but hey, let me look at this little study they got going on here. Here we go. So usually this is where they get a lot of their news stories. They go wait for the journals to come out with new information, and then they all jump on it. So the journal came out with it on the 3rd. They got wind of it, and then they just blew it up in the news cycle. Hair dye and chemical straightener use and breast cancer risk in large U.S. population of Black and white women. So this is the actual study that if you would like to take a look at. Let me see how long this study is. Let's go look at the study ourselves, shall we? The page is nine pages. And this is all of their references here. So if you would like to learn more about this and read the study for yourself, they have linked to it. And look at the beauty industry. A lot of this stuff that people are using to beautify themselves are dangerous and are killers. Yeah, I have to take a minute to look over this study. Even a couple of years ago, what was her name? She used to come on the show. I think her name is Countess Vaughn. If I got her name wrong, my mistake. But she came on talking about how she used to wear a lot of lace front wigs or weaves, and the damage that it done to or did to the front of her hair line, and how a lot of the things that people are using to beautify themselves is actually causing more harm than good, because it's giving the appearance of beauty, but it's not necessarily coming with the health of, when you're healthy in many components, then your skin will be, more radiant or more clear and free of blemishes. And if you're healthy and you have all the vitamins that you need, then your hair will begin to grow. You know what I mean? And your nails will be, all of these things that we're looking to falsify, or just maybe wanting to have the look of someone else. And I know this is a touchy area because people are, oh, why am I clicking on this? People are attached to, a lot about the physical. But when studies like this come out, although we already knew that, not only is it the hair dyes and the not only is it the hair dyes and the straighteners, but it's also that contributes to breast cancer is the deodorant. The deodorants that have aluminum, y'all gotta excuse me, y'all already know when it's late. Then I start winding down. But the deodorants that have aluminum in there, those type of antiperspirants, those type that stuffs up your lymph nodes and doesn't allow you to sweat, those also contribute to trapping toxins in the body. And right next to your lymph node is your breast, under your arm, if you're a woman. So when you look at breast cancers, when you look at your hair and your hair follicles and the opening of your hair follicles and the application of these chemicals straight onto your scalp, you're putting it, your skin is your largest organ on your body. And so you're absorbing those toxins straight into your body when you put them on your skin, whether it be on your head, whether it be under your arm, whether it be on your skin. There's a rule of thumb generally that if you cannot eat it, you shouldn't put it on your skin. And so, there's certain things that people want to just have all of these toxins and additives and preservatives, not only in the food, but in the products the shampoos that you use, the toothpaste that you brush your teeth with. I mean, it's a very slippery slope, but all of these things are very important as we look at the rising cancer rates. As you look at, the, what's the word I'm looking for? The way in which the cancers, the word escapes me right now, but the strength of the cancers and the way in which they move so rapidly through the system, you know. So I just wanted to share that. I'm not going to go long because I'm a little sleepy, so already I can't even draw the words that I need to say on this. But for those who may have lost somebody in their life to cancer, to breast cancer, my heart and my condolences go out to you and your family. Um, I know a few people who have passed from cancer. A dear friend, mother passed from breast cancer. So I definitely understand that it's not necessarily an easy thing to deal with. You know what I mean? And there are things that um, we can do that can help us to lessen the chances. And some of those things are making better decisions when we go to purchase things to beautify ourselves. You know, I was never one big on. I'll tell y'all this story, and then I'm go. I wasn't really big on what do you call it, perms. I remember when I was young, I have a lot of hair, thick head of hair, right? And so my mother couldn't really manage to comb my hair because I have a lot of hair. So she decided that, oh, I just want to lighten it up and and put this processing in it. Anyway, long story short, I was probably like 13, 14. So at first you're like, oh, my hair is straight, oh, my hair is straight. But it didn't, for A, it wasn't like my usual big full hair. But B, I remember one time my aunt was there and she was putting it in and I'm like, it's burning. This is like a few times I've had it in my head. And they're like, oh no, you just acting up, this, that, and the third. I'm like, no, no, no. It's burning, you know. So finally they washed this thing out my hair, man. I'm talking about trauma. Y'all talk about trauma? They washed this thing out my hair. Remember, I have a lot of head full of hair. And the whole right side of my head, you see the hair in the sink. The whole right side of my head fell out. It's a true story. Fell out. I wasn't laughing then. I'm looking in the sink like, what in the world? It was burning so much. I still, to this day, if you look very closely, you can see a chemical burn on the nape of my neck where that crazy, no good chemical straightener burned me. The perm, as we used to call it, which relaxer. And so I would say from about 13 till about 18, incrementally, I would relax my hair until I went to college. I went to college and I remember I went and got a what do you call it there? I went and got haircut. I used to have like this fly short. If y'all could imagine, y'all see me with head wraps now. But like Amuna used to wear short hairdos. I used to have a short hairdo. And I went to go get it, done up. But it wasn't really, really short. It wasn't Tony Braxton short. It was kind of like a bob short. This lady went to the beauty shop. After that, I was done with beauty shops, man. I went to the beauty shop and I went with a friend from college. So the lady is there talking, and I'm like, I just want you to trim it up, this, that, and the third. Next thing you know, I hear the lady with a clippers like zzz, and I'm like, where's she going with clippers? I'm thinking to myself, you know what I mean? But she looked like she knows what she's doing. All right, lady come with the clippers. When she was finished, she had cut all my hair almost off. When she was done, I had the Tony Braxton. That's how short my hair was. And I'm looking like, what in the world? So I rocked it for a while. And then when my new growth started growing out, guess what Amuna did? That was my first big chop. Everybody today is like, oh, the big chop. I did my first big chop. I was about 18, going 19 years old. I just looked in the mirror, took the scissors up, because it was never really me, you know what I mean? Took the scissors up and just trimmed off all of the processed parts, just trimmed it all off. And I looked in the mirror and I was like, that's what's up. And that was the beginning of my return to my roots. I don't know why. I guess I'm sleepy why I just told that story. But so, you know, it wasn't something that I was addicted to, is what I'm saying. But you do have some young women who were addicted to um, having perm every 6 weeks. My aunt was a hairdresser, so she wouldn't even let you perm your hair every 6 weeks. She wasn't going to do it. You know what I mean? But people addicted to, as soon as they see new growth, oh, they gotta cut it out, or they gotta perm it, and they gotta process it, and you gotta, all this stuff to it, which is very dangerous. It may look good for the moment, but after that wears off, you're left with the fallout, which is what this, what do you call it? What this study is now saying. After they've made all the money on all of the products, and here comes the study that says, oh, that's not a good look. But let me look at the comments now, and then I'm gonna wind down. Jason says, this is why I stopped using Magic Shave and went back to a razor. Oh, for your, what's Magic Shave? Is that like a Nair? I don't know what Magic. What's Magic Shave, Jason? Is that like Nair? Like, and like stuff like Nair. What is in Nair? This thing that they say, it smells. I remember one time I'm smelling. I was never big on leg shaving either, because I guess I was always the Rasta natural girl from the roots, man. Because what's Magic Save? Now you got me wondering what Magic Shave is. Let me see. You got me wondering what Magic Shave is. When you look at some of this stuff, you wonder what are they putting in it. Like Nair, it smells like poison. Nair smells like nothing that should be near you. And yet people want to have smooth legs. You want to get rid of some things that nature, the way you're supposed to have, you know what I mean? You're supposed to have, and this is also what's contributing to some of the ills that we're developing. Let me stop being nosy trying to find out what magic shave is. All right, y'all. So, oh, it's like near, right? Yeah. Okay, 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 okay. Yeah, that joint is no toll. It's I don't even know what's in. Now I'm gonna be nosy. What's in there? What is in there? It should not be near you. Even the nail polish. The nail polish they used to have formaldehyde. I don't know if they still got formaldehyde in it. But things such as that's why you see the people in the nail shops have all those the mask on their face because it's the fumes alone is give you respiratory problems. We have to think about these things. Even the perm, the fumes off the perm give you respiratory problems. You sit there inhaling it all day. Like they gotta say you gotta put on gloves to even touch it. You know what is here? Nail removal. Depilatories. What are the active ingredients in Nair? See, here we go. Two active ingredients are calcium hydroxide, slaked lime, and sodium hydroxide lye, which raise the pH balance, chemically breaking it down. Sodium hydroxide. One of that thing stinks. I'm sorry, y'all. I got sidetracked here. Yeah. All right, y'all. I'm not going to subject y'all to any more of my curiosities this evening. Uh, so once again, check out those articles. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. And everybody have a blessed night.